We did it. Binance just took a major step forward by implementing a burn tax for Terra Luna Classic in their ecosystem in an attempt to meet the community in the middle. Let's take a look at this thread posted by CC Binance just a few hours ago. Binance to implement Terra Luna Classic Burn mechanism. Quick thread. There's a link here. We're going to get to this in just a second, but first we're going to read what CZ said. Since the AMA on Friday, there have been a number of discussions as to how to support the Terra Luna Classic community request for a transaction tax on burns. CZ Binance highlights three critical things that impacted their decision to change their mind about their plan. The first thing, the Terra Luna Classic community wasn't happy with their original approach. For anyone who's not aware, the original approach was to have an opt-in feature for 1.2% tax. A lot of people are not happy because a lot of people probably aren't going to opt in. That's just the reality. Also, it's going to take a while to develop that feature, and it's not going to work anyways. The traders just aren't going to vote for it. And for anyone who doesn't know what that opt-in feature, they need to hit a threshold of 50% of active volume opting into the feature for it to become mandatory for everyone. So the odds of that happening pretty low because you have a lot of bots, you have a lot of day traders, a lot of people who try and extract value out of our community. Instead, they decided to implement a new plan where they're going to be burning all trading fees collected on the Terra Luna Classic /BUSD and Terra Luna Classic /USDT spot and margin trading pairs on Binance. So essentially what's happening here, they're going to give up their percentage, their trading fee that they normally collect, and they're going to burn that instead. While this is not exactly the 1.2% fee that we were all hoping for, I think it's important that we give this a fair look and really assess as to what this could do and to take this as a major win forward. And I'm going to explain why here in just a second. All right, so there's a few key features to this burn tax that Binance is implementing that we need to discuss. First of all, the specific amount of Terra Luna Classic burned and its equivalent value and on-chain transaction ID will be updated each week in this announcement. So they're going to do a weekly update. It's not going to update daily for us. It's going to be weekly. We can go in and see what happened over the past week. Another really important thing, this is going to be effective until further notice. A lot of these other exchanges, a great example, MEXC, they've done a great job helping support the community, but what they did originally was a limited time frame special event. What Binance is doing right now, this is going on until further notice, until there's a major reason to change what's happening. So this is great news. Okay, so the calculations of the total Terra Luna Classic burned is going to be done every Monday at 0 UTC, and the on-chain burn transaction and weekly report will be updated each Tuesday. So again, this is going to be a weekly thing that we're going to see the updates. Another really important key feature for us to understand here, trading fees on Terra Luna Classic spot and margin trading pairs that collected in a token other than Terra Luna Classic. For example, these other token options will be converted to Terra Luna Classic with real-time exchanges on Binance every Monday. So what's going to happen here is sometimes they collect their fee in a different currency, not necessarily the native one, depends on what you're transacting in. And so what's going to happen is they're going to convert that into Terra Luna Classic. So they're going to essentially buy Terra Luna Classic with those other values. Let's say it's BNB. They're going to take the BNB, buy Terra Luna Classic every Monday, and then do the transactions to send it over to the Burn wallet. It's also important to understand this will not impact some of Binance's special offerings. For example, Binance has a BNB fee discount, there's fee rebates, or other types of fee adjustments or fee rebates that they offer. It's not going to have an impact there. And so what's important to note with that is that that's not going to burn as much. And usually those are special limited time things, so it's just something to be aware of. This is a really critical step forward for the Terra Luna Classic community because Binance is essentially giving up their fee that they normally charge to burn that amount. So it's not our 1.2%, but it is going to have an impact. And the fact that Binance is willing to sacrifice some of their revenues for the Terra Luna Classic community is a major step forward and a sign that they actually are trying to help here. Let's start talking numbers and seeing what this could actually do and what the burn potential would be here. So if we scroll down, Binance's trading fees. So let's start looking at some of these real quick. So first of all, a regular user who does under $1 million of transactions every month on a 30-day trading volume basis, they're going to pay a 0.1%. If they use BNB though, they're going to get 25% off, and so it's going to be a little bit lower. And that's a continuous trend that we see here. So if I scroll down a little bit more, you guys can see above me all these different thresholds. So depending on how much they transact or how much BNB they use, they might get a little bit of a discount onto these fees. And that's something important to note is that it's actually going to vary a little bit per person as to how much Terra Luna Classic is burned as a percentage of their trade volume. So right, we're going to have some bots, we're going to have some day traders who are going to pass and be able to go beyond this $1 million of volume monthly. However, a lot of people are going to fit within that range. And so a lot of people are probably going to be paying this 0.1%. So if we use those numbers and we hop over here, let's take a look at some potential burn volumes for us. Stop right there. The vast majority of you are not subscribed and don't have your notification bells turned on. Do that right now so you don't miss another video just like this. What I did right here is I took the daily volume. So if you hop over to Terra Luna Classic, right now we're up almost 40%, which is great off of this news. We scroll down and we need to find Binance's volume. So you scroll down here, we can see Binance 858 million and 307 million. What I did over here is I added those volumes together, and so we got the total daily volume right now on Binance. What we did then is we took that 0.1% fee, and daily burn would be roughly $1.1 million worth of Terra Luna Classic, which is definitely a big improvement. Now that would translate over to roughly 3.8 billion Terra Luna Classic burned every day, which is about 0.06% of the total supply daily, or on a yearly basis, about 23.6%. Now it's important to note that does not factor the diminishing returns. If you want to know what I'm talking about with diminishing returns, though, be sure to check out the video that I'm going to link right above. Obviously, this volume is probably not going to stay. We're probably not going to stay over $1 billion of daily volume just on Binance, right? This is an extreme day with a lot of volume. More realistically, we're seeing closer to $250 to $300 million of daily volume on Binance, kind of as an average. So let's take that number and see what would that look like if we average that out. So we take our fee, daily burn is going to be about $300,000 of Terra Luna Classic every day, which converts to roughly 1 billion Terra Luna Classic right now. That's about 0.02% daily, and then yearly that would be about 6.8%. And again, this is not factoring diminishing returns. As Terra Luna Classic price goes up, you're going to burn less daily Terra Luna Classic, even if your dollar volume stays the same. Okay, so just Binance alone isn't going to make or break us, right? It's not going to have that significant of an impact. However, it's important to note this is just Binance we're looking at right now. This is not factoring on-chain transactions. This is not factoring other exchanges. This is not factoring a lot of other potential that we have for the 1.2% burn tax. So that's really something important to understand. This is just looking at Binance alone right now. The fact that one single exchange could have this much impact potentially, where we're burning this much with the current volume numbers, is just insane to me, right? This is great news for us. And so what's next? Well, the next step for us is trying to push for other exchanges to do the same thing, right? Obviously, we'd like to have Binance go to a 1.2% fee. However, in reality, they're making big strides as it is right now. They're foregoing potentially right now $1 million of revenue every day. And instead that money is going to be sent over to burn Terra Luna Classic. So they're losing out on $1 million a day. They're probably not going to go ahead and do a 1.2% burn right now. They're probably going to want to test this for a little while. And so what we need to do is let's try and get other exchanges to make this step too, where they forego their trading fees on Terra Luna Classic, or they go for 1.2%. We can give them an option here, but let's push for other exchanges to do that. And once Binance sees a lot of other exchanges following in, they might actually go ahead and implement a 1.2% burn and do more so what we're wanting. And that's so critical because this original post that came out a couple days ago by CZ, and I want to reiterate this because this is an underlying theme behind their thought process. If Binance charged a 1.2% transaction, they don't think it would burn a lot because the Terra Luna Classic holders would go to other exchanges, and they're open to the possibility that they're wrong about that. And so what we need to do is show them, hey, other exchanges are going to follow with what you do. And hopefully that'll then give Binance the confidence to actually enable a 1.2% burn. And we can see this go up a lot. I mean, 1.2% would take the numbers that we're seeing over here on the spreadsheet, and we're 0.1, right? So we could 12x what we're seeing on this numbers right now. We could be burning over $10 million of daily value of Terra Luna Classic, or over probably 40 billion Terra Luna Classic could be burned daily. And that's the potential here. And it's going to take us a while to get there, but it's important that we start making the steps forward. So while we do wait for that process, and we do have to wait for us to be able to hit that step, it's important for us to be staking our Terra Luna Classic and earning some sweet yield. So if you guys want to learn how to stake your Terra Luna Classic, be sure to check out this video right up here that I'm going to link, and you guys can see the process of staking. It's really simple.